Hey everybody, welcome back to Easel Does It Studio. So as you can see, I've got some new stuff. This is the Bond Craftor tabletop epoxy resin. I have not tried this yet. And remember the other day we made these coasters and I needed to top coat them? Well, I purposely waited because I knew this was coming. So let's go ahead and get this out. So you get some cups, and I will have the link for this in the description box below. All right, so this is the tabletop resin. So you get a half a gallon of A and a half gallon of the B. And you get a couple of these little scrapers, which I love. And you get some gloves. And you get a paddle. So that is what you get. So, oh, and you get two paddles. There's one hiding. I love these things. So I saved these gloves for an emergency because you guys know my hands are very sensitive. I think I finally figured out what my hand problem is. So I'm going to put these over to the side. So I don't know. Let me just kind of move this over too for now. So I don't know what we have for a work time. So it's 1-to-1 by volume. So operating time is 30 minus 5 or 10. So 25 to 35 minutes work time. And surface dry time, 8 hours. Final curing in 24. Cure at room temperature. So I have got everything ready. All right, so the mixing ratio is 1-to-1. Mix for 3 to 5 minutes. Pour slowly on your project and then wait 8 hours and it's fully cured. So this will totally be done by morning because we are at 7:40 at night, so do not mix more than 1 gallon at a time, no more than 1/4 inch per coat. Do not add color until both resin and hardener are completely mixed. If you're going to add a color, and it should be tack-free in 4 hours. Sandable if necessary in 8. So I'm hoping we're only going to have to do 1 coat. So what I have done is I have sanded the top. As you can tell, they look disgusting. I have taped the bottom. And I don't think, I have no bubbles except for, there's a little tiny divot here. I think that one was the only one. And it's really not even much of a divot. So I just basically taped the back and then just cut around with my scissors. So we are going to put these up on cups. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mix 6 ounces. I know that it's probably not going to take 6 ounces, but I'd rather have a little bit more than not enough because I'd like to get them all done at the same time. So I am going to try to pull something out that because I'm thinking about 3 ounces is basically, I think, what I'm going to need. And all right, so while that's mixing, I will find something to put the extra in. We'll have it ready in case. I am going to add a little bit of crushed crystal to the top. I mean, a minuscule amount. So, and I will get these all propped up on cups, and hopefully they're level. Let me just grab out my level. Okay, so that definitely is not level. Okay, so is that, so that is pretty level. So why is the coaster not level? So right there, it is level. Let me see. Let me see if I can find something else that might be a little bit more stable. All right, let me find something. I'm gonna get this mixed up and I will be right back. Okay, so I have got this all mixed up. It is very thick. It's gonna be bubbly, but that's just what happens with tabletop resin. It's very thick so that it doesn't flow over. So I am going to, let me see, I want to grab something that I can kind of smear this around, get it to the edges, and all right. So this one, for some reason, this top is bowed. So I'm going to do this last. It's pretty level on the counter. So I'm going to do these. I did get those all so that, I mean, they're pretty level. So I'm just going to, and I should be able to use my torch because, you know, these are already done and they're not, oh my word, guys, tonight, words are bad. There's nothing to burn. There, that's what I was trying to think of. There's no silicone under there, so, all right, so let's just get some on here. Oh, Lord, I think I got way too much. Yeah, way too much. All right, so then you just want to get this, run it to the edges, and it shouldn't fall over unless there is a bubble. Now, this is only my second time of doing this, so you guys are learning with me. So the reason that I decided to do this on camera is because I know I have a few new people that are just starting in resin, and I know this can be a scary process if you don't know what you're doing. So by using a top coat resin, it's a thicker resin, and it has what they call surface tension. So as long as you don't have a bubble and you do not put too much on, it should not go over the sides. You can pull it right to the edge and it's not gonna go over. All right, so I might have a little bit much on this one. And if you put it on and you see divots, then you don't have enough. So it's just figuring out, you know, what works, what doesn't. So I'm just gonna move this back because I don't want to burn my container. And then we're gonna pop those bubbles. All right, put this over here and we're gonna just start with the next one. So I sanded it. I dug out all of the holes that had bubbles in them. So you just want to make sure that you get your resin into any of those holes that you had. And the next one I'll show you, it's got a good size hole. So I can show you. So usually within like 15 to 20 minutes, it will have stopped dripping if it does drip over. So that's why I kind of tape the bottom just in case, because I'm still really new at this. You know, as I'm giving you guys advice, I'm just as nervous as you guys just starting out. But you just got to get out of your comfort zone and do it, because that's the only way that we learn, right? So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do it on a live, and that way, if anybody out there needs to top coat something but are, you know, are a little bit afraid, hopefully this can help you guys. And the key thing is, you know, making sure that you definitely have it as level as you can possibly get it. All right, so let's pop these bubbles. So let me, before I do this one, I'll bring this down here, but you can see there's a hole right there. Let me get my pokey stick. See, that goes in quite a bit. So I sanded it, I trimmed off any extra, and when I put the resin, I'm gonna make sure that that is filled and that will disappear. So let's get some on here. And yeah, I way overshot. All right, so I'm gonna make sure that hole is full. And then we're just gonna start bringing this over the edge and see how that hole has now disappeared. Now, when I made these, I was hoping that I would not have to do this, but you know, it's when you're using fresh flowers or dried flowers or whatever, it is 90% of the time you're going to have to at least do one. And if you're going to do one, then you might as well do them all. Because I only had 2 that had bubbles. But if I'm going to top coat them, I'm going to do them all. And this is food safe resin. And it is high temperature resistant. I don't know exactly. I will have to look that up and see if that's in the little booklet that we get. But so far, I have tried all of the Bond Craftor resin, and I really like it. And it's a It's a very good resin at a really affordable price. So, all right, so far I've used 1 ounce, guys. 1 ounce. Yeah. All right, let me... So I'm just torching as I go so that if it does decide it's going to start setting up, I've got the bubbles out before it sets up. But see how it brought that right back to life? Okay. Let's do this one. So I'm just going right to the edge because you want to make sure that you get all of your edge covered. And if you're going to put tape around the edge because you are afraid it's going to run over, make sure that it's at least like a 1/16 below the top. If not, you're going to end up with a rough edge on the top. So you want your tape a little bit lower than your surface. And I learned that the hard way. Okay, now this one's the one that has a little divot on the edge. So, and luckily I aimed that towards me. So I'm just gonna watch that to see, to make sure that it doesn't run over. So far it's looking good. Oh, and you know what? I didn't even put crushed crystal, guys. I got so worked up on making sure that I was getting these level that I completely forgot all about it. Oh, well. Yeah, it's definitely a thick, thick resin. So I'm just, and I'm making sure, I'm looking to make sure that I don't have any parts pulling away. This is still looking good here. Because if you do have a drip and you wipe it like right away, then it should stop dripping. But if you don't catch it, then, you know, it will keep, because resin will go where resin is. I hope I'm explaining that, guys, right? So the only one that I am concerned about is this one over here, which is different than these sets, than the 4 that I had made. I made 2 separate ones. So this one and this one are a set, and then these 4 are a set. So, okay. And just don't do it too much. But I could still see a few bubbles in there, so. All right. So now let's do this one. And I'm going to do it on the desk and hope and pray that I can just like rotate it. And I'm going to do a little bit thinner layer on this one. just because I know that I don't know if it was the way I sanded it or what, but it just wasn't sitting level no matter what I put it on. So I'm like, okay. I'm just still going to bring it to the edge, and then I will hope and pray that it's not going over. And hopefully I can, you know, like spin it around and kind of see on the other side. Because if this runs over, it will stick to the bottom surface. So, I mean, it's parchment paper, so it would probably pull away, but I don't want to take any chances. But this was the most level. For some reason, no matter what I put under it, it was off. But when I put it on the table, it was level. So we're just going to hope and pray. And just make sure you've got no divots. And that's why it's always good to give it a minute or two. And to just kind of watch to see. I'm not feeling nothing, guys. So I am just going to leave it. I'm going to get that one. I don't know what to put this in because of all the bubbles. Yes, that is my fear. All right, let me try putting it in here. And let's add some of this Liquitex acrylic ink. I just got this, so I have not tried this in resin. And this is Prussian blue. Oh, yep, as I get ink everywhere. All right, well, I can't mess with that too much because I've got to get this mixed because I have a much slower work time. All right, so I'm gonna just slide that back, and let me try to wipe this out. I do have a few little glitters in there. And let's pour it, and then hopefully it will degas on its own. Because I didn't want to go something too deep because I was afraid the bubbles would get stuck in there. So you can use this, you know, as a regular resin as well, as long as it's shallow enough. I'm pushing the envelope, I think, with this, but I needed something to get this in because I am not wasting resin. I am not. It's too dang expensive. And So I want to dome this as much as I possibly can. The last time I made one of these, I did not dome it, and it was a little bit loose. So I definitely want to make sure that I am doming this one. My coasters are looking good. Nothing on my sides. Yay! I might have my first successful top coat, like with major sanding, because I had like that big bubble there, and this flower here was sticking out, so I had to sand that. So yeah. All right, so I got just a smidge too much in here, so we'll just take a little out. Okay, that should be good. Okay, so we have got, let's see, I got a couple of little flower molds, so why don't we use those? Oops. And we'll see how these work in here. Oop. Gosh, I'm making a mess. I am making a mess. So I'm just gonna now I'm full well expecting to have bubbles in here. But I want to make sure that I get all the petals at least. All right. And because these molds are so see-through on the top, you can literally tell if you've, missed a petal or if there is a bubble in there. I can see a bubble there. I've had really good luck with these little flower molds. Okay, so we've got them full, and we've still got, gosh, some more here. So I've got more flower molds. The wrong drawer. And then I will make these. The first two are like keychains. They've got the little knob in them. This one does not. So this one, it will either be an embellishment on something or I'll make a magnet. I think I'm going to start making like magnets where I put, I don't know, 2 or 3 different magnets in a bag for a certain price. Okay, and I was looking to see if I had another keychain one. Oh, this is a keychain one, so we will do this one. Come on. Yowza. See, guys, never a dull moment on my channel. Nope, nope, there isn't. I just thank God that I did not hit that coaster. I probably would have cried. And I got one more here and one more here. I don't know if I'll be able to do both, but we're gonna see. These 5 right here are a shiny mold, whereas this one here is a dull mold, so the flower is not shiny. So I was trying to stick with all, you know, the shiny molds. All right, so this will be the last one. I mean, I could scrape a little bit more, but I'm not gonna nitpick over a couple of drops. So there, we've got some extras. Okay, that is pretty much it. I just want to make sure that I don't have any bubbles that I can see in there. So I'm impressed so far, guys, because this is actually degassing really, really well. All right, so let me get rid of that cup and get a paper towel. Try to clean my fingers off. So I can clean my stick here. So those coasters are looking really nice. I have my heat on and I saw a little fleck of dust. And I don't dare move them because I know that's going to be a bad thing if I move them. Okay. All right. I guess that is it, and I will be back and we will demold these flowers and see what they look like, and we'll see what the coasters look like all finished, guys. Alrighty, I will see you soon. Okay, guys, it is the next day, and look at how beautiful those coasters came out. So then we just have to peel the tape off the backs. Just like that. We have a nice smooth top with no bubbles. This one here, it pulled away just a little bit here. There you go, see right there? So what I'll do is I'll just try to fix that with a little bit of UV resin. But other than that, this was the crooked one. So we have a nice finish on this one. All right, I'll just take the backs off camera, but this is the other one. And at one point, I was working on a painting, and I came in, and this one had a hair in it. And I'm like, ah, man. So I pulled it out, and I used my heat gun and reheated the resin, and luckily it saved. All right, so let me just show you each of these. And I will put a cork backing on the back. But these came out beautiful. I really like that tabletop resin, guys. That worked slick. And then this is the last one. So yeah, I was very impressed. Oh, this bag's gonna come off easy. There we go. So maybe. Okay. guess they were peeling off a little easier than I thought, if you can just get a little end up. I didn't know if I was going to have to mess around. But yeah. All right, so let's get our extras out here. And I'm not seeing any, I thought there might be some bubbles in there, but I'm not seeing any. Definitely hard, that's for sure. Definitely hard. You know, usually like the next day it's still really soft. This is nice and hard. And that's our top. So, and I knew I was going to have a little cleanup on this one, but wow, I didn't get any bubbles. You know, when you try to get no bubbles, you get bubbles. And when you put it in and you're like, oh, I know I'm going to get some bubbles, whatever. Yeah, those ones usually are the ones that come out the best. All right, let's see if this fits. And of course it's not going to fit. So I will have to sand it to make it fit, but you know, that is how the base usually looks, like that. And then you can hang something. So yeah, all right, let's see how our little flowers turned out. Awesome. No bubbles, guys. I can't even believe, because you saw how bubbly that was. Wow, unbelievable. I am impressed. This one has some bubbles, little micro bubbles on the tips of the leaves, but it doesn't look bad at all. Again, no bubbles. Wow, I'm impressed. All right, so this one, And this one are keychains. And this one are just little flowers. So yeah. Well, I guess we had some success today. So again, these 4 are going to go as a set. These 2 and these. So these 4 right here are a set. All right. So these 2 and these 2. So yeah. And then I'll sell these 2 as just a set of 2. Just a little something different. So yeah, so don't forget the link to the tabletop resin will be in the description below, as well as any of their other products. And I will see you guys on the next video. Bye, guys.